How do you socialize at a party where you only know the host and you're not too social? Get there a little early when people are just starting to show up and the host isn't super busy yet. If there's just a small group talking with the host, it would seem natural for the host to introduce you to them. Alternatively, when you get there and greet said host, there's no shame in saying I don't know anyone else here. Will you introduce me to someone? Oh. The idea with asking the host to introduce you is good. I never thought about that. The host will probably also have an idea with which person group you'll get along the best. Look around and find someone who is also alone in the corner. At least you have something common to say like dude help me. I don't know anyone at this party. Walk up to someone that is not busy or in a deep conversation. Introduce yourself. Ask them their name and how they know the host. Then say something nice about how you know the host. Then ask them what is keeping them busy lately. Usually an interesting conversation follows. If not, just say nice meeting you and move on to the next person. You may think you need courage or social skills first, but in reality just doing it anyway will give you the courage you felt you lacked and the social skills will follow. The bar drinks area is perfect for this. Use the drinks as an icebreaker to kick off a tiny bit of small talk. Then segue into IMAX. What's your name? So how do you know, host? One of the ways to get a conversation going is to find something they like to talk about. Don't just walk up to someone and start talking about yourself. Drinks food area is a great way to get in on this. Just look at what drink they're having and either oh, you're having X? I haven't had X in ages. Is this X any good? Or B, oh, you're having X? People keep telling me to try it, but I'm not sure if I'll like it or not. What do you like about it? Congrats. You now either are talking about a mutual interest or asking their opinion on something you know that they like. Hey. What's up? Hey. You know Pac-Man. You know the original name for Pac-Man was Puck-Man. Not because he looks like a hockey puck, but it's parkoo parkoo. Means flap your mouth. But they thought people would scratch out the P and turn it into an F like Duckman. You know what PAC stands for? PAC. Program and Control. He's Program and Control Man. The whole thing's a metaphor. All he can do is consume. He's pursued by demons that are probably just in his own head. And even if he does manage to escape by slipping out one side of the maze, what happens? He comes right back in the other side. People think it's a happy game. It's not a happy game. It's a ducking nightmare world. And the worst thing is, it's real and we live in it. Find the cat. Or the dog. My Shiaz is usually wherever the host is and I'm like a counterpuncher. Won't really say anything unless they start talking to me. It's like looking into a mirror. Casually ask guests how they know the host and use that as a starting point for a conversation. Oh. You work together? In the same role? How long have you been working there? What do you like about it? If it seems like they don't like the job or don't want to talk about work, turn it into asking them about their hobbies. Oh. You went to school together? What did you study? Were you roommates? If they went to college far away, ask how they ended up in your city. From there you might learn where they grew up and that can turn into another conversation. Oh. Your dogs go to the same groomer? Tell me about your pet. S. Can I see pictures? Oh. You were incarcerated together? What were you in for? People like to talk about themselves. Usually. Ask about non-controversial things like their pets, kids, jobs, most recent Netflix binge, most recent movie they saw in theaters, a recent vacation, or something similar. You can also try compliments but don't overdo it and make sure it's genuine. I really like your handbag necklace watch etc. Where did you get it? Sometimes that will open a conversation. If all else fails, find the dog or cat in the house and make friends. Other introverts will find them too. And you can all sit quietly doting on the pets until it's time to go home. But best with questions that have long answers. Were you roommates? Yes. Versus. What was he like in college? Oh, he was wild blah blah blah. Pet the dog the whole party. One time when this happened to me, I just found a mid-sized group of people having a conversation about general stuff and kind of hung out at the edges listening, like. The group was big enough and they weren't talking about in-group stuff so that me just kind of sidling up wasn't distracting. I waited until the conversation reached a point where I had something meaningful to add to the conversation and I spoke up. Then I was in and things just kind of continued from there with me speaking more. I didn't just barge in and hijack the conversation. I was listening long enough to get a feel for the conversation and knew what had been under discussion while also just being present so that I wasn't automatically an outsider one-sided. People had time to see me and that I was part of the group. Even if just a spectator at first. I couldn't tell you any of their names. But I remember having a good time hanging out with them. This is the best advice. Just wander around and listen to conversations that are happening until you find one that you might be able to contribute to and just speak up. Humans are social creatures. Most people at a party are going to be inclusive and will welcome people who are trying to integrate. Step 1. Get drunk. Step 2. Get drunker. Step 3. Introduce yourself like the legend you are. One easy way is to casually ask how they know the host. And then go from there. You could also compliment them on their shirt or hairstyle or anything else. Just mingle. Man. I have a tendency to pretend I'm someone more confident. I'll walk up to strangers and compliment something about them. Oh my god. Your shoes are so cute. Where did you get them? People love compliments that are sincere and love talking about themselves. It gets the ball rolling. A good host will set up games like cornhole or beer pong or something so that people can break ice that way. Otherwise, walking up to a group that's talking and standing awkwardly until you can either jump into the conversation or walk away and try with another group. Eventually you might luck out and walk into one that introduces themselves to you and lets you join them. You drink until everyone looks friendly. Find the books. Look at them. If they have no books, leave. Alcohol. Start by identifying the means of production and work from within the party to seize the means. A good host would introduce you to a couple of people who you might have something in common with. Pro tip, you can walk up to a group and ask, "What are we talking about?" 9/10 times they'll fill you in and it won't be awkward. Just be confident. I usually leave when no one is looking. Pull down your pants and poop on the floor. If your poo is large enough, they will marvel at the size and succumb to your dominance. Bring facer paint and a bottle of something interesting to share. Usually a great icebreaker. Helps if you know how to facer paint. But it's funnier if you don't. P. Introduce yourself to someone random and ask how they know the host. What brings them there, etc. It is not awkward to do this. What is more awkward is being the person who stands in a corner and never tries to socialize. Both of you guys know the host and I assume both of you guys like the host. Chances are massive the other person isn't a jerk and you will get along.